Welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Jayashree S., Professor of Sociology, Karnataka University, Dharwad. This module on Gijubai Badeka is a part of the unit on educational thinkers in the course Education and Society. This module deals with Gijubai Badeka's contributions towards education, especially children's education in their formative years. A pioneer in the field of primary education, Gijubai Badeka has written extensively on issues of education in general and education of children in particular. His contributions are very simple yet influential and powerful. His thoughts on education, especially those relating to the formative years of a child's growth and learning, are of immense relevance even today. He opposed the colonial system of education practiced in India, as he believed that in this system teachers had hardly any freedom to introduce new ideas or bring changes in a way as to inspire students to develop interest in learning. The education system concentrated too much on rules and regulations, and there were no room for teachers or parents to bring creative changes in students. Though teachers are creators of future citizens, they do not have any freedom to impart quality education to their wards. According to Gijubai Badeka, the difference in the background of learners and teachers is one of the key factors responsible for poor level of teaching and learning. He raised many pertinent questions with regard to children's education. His methodology is simple and honest, and he answered the innumerable questions raised by teachers, parents, students, and larger society on education. Life sketch. Gijubai Badeka, popularly known as Mochelli Ma, mother of whiskers, was born on November 15, 1835. He grew up in Bhavanagar, a city in the state of Gujarat. In order to earn a living, he went to East Africa in 1907. On his return in 1910, he studied law in Bombay. He started his practice in 1911 as a district pleader, and in 1912 he enrolled himself as a High Court pleader. Gijubai Badeka introduced the Montessori system of education in India. Following the birth of his son in 1923, he developed an interest in childhood education and development. He closely observed the child education classes conducted under the guidance of Motibai Amin at Warsaw in Gujarat. Montessori education. The traditional approach to education prevailing today focuses on the transmission of knowledge to students from a set of prescribed books and curriculum. The Montessori approach focuses on natural development of the human being. Through Montessori education, a child transforms into a complete human being and creates a comfortable zone for himself, by herself, for society, as well as for the entire humanity. Montessori education begins with the understanding that the role of an adult or a teacher is only to help to unfold the hidden and inborn developmental powers of the child. Contributions of Gijubai Badeka. Gijubai Badeka evolved a few key strategies to translate his visions into action. He systematically altered the entire scheme of colonial education and advocated an educational model suited to Indian environment and culture. The strategies which he advocated are: A. Setting up Adhyapak Mandir, B. Bringing out Shikshana Patrika, C. Formulation of Nutan Balashikshana Sangh, D. Creating literature for children, E. Inclusion of marginalized groups in the institutions which he established. Adhyapak Mandir. We have already seen that Gijubai Badeka had given importance to teachers engaged with children in their formative years of learning. In the colonial system of education, teachers had not placed stress on teachers' training. In order to orient teachers to the ways creative education, Gijubai Badeka started Adhyapak Mandir. Shikshana Patrika. It was a Gujarati monthly started in 1925 by Gijubai Badeka, particularly focusing attention on the existing system of education. He used to write critical articles which had created a sensation in the whole Gujarat. This institution had especially created a great deal of awareness in parents in particular and others in general on the need for the holistic education for children. In this endeavor, he received a great deal of support from Tarabai Modak, known as the Montessori Mother. Through this monthly magazine, Gijubai Badeka advocated a new system of child education and explained the advantages of it. Children's literature. Besides these writings, Gijubai Badeka also concentrated his attention on children's literature such as short stories, nursery rhymes, and adventure travel tales. Though his work focused mainly on education of children, Badeka also concentrated on adult education. He started an adult education campaign in 1930. Gijubai Badeka authored more than 200 books. Since he emphasized to the easy ways by which children could be educated without stress, he used travel and humor to appeal to their teachers and parents. His views were expressed through short stories, rhymes, songs, plays, books, pamphlets, and newspaper articles. Nutan Balashikshana Sangh. In 1926, along with Tarabai Modak, Gijubai Badeka formed Nutan Balashikshana Sangh. They also introduced various low-cost educational aid and apparatus for children because they believed that knowledge could be gained more effectively through games and other co-curricular activities. Badeka was of the view that teachers alone are not responsible for educating children, but it should be a participatory process including parents, educationalists, guardians, and teachers. Vanarasena. Inspired by the cultural history of India, Gijubai Badeka formed a group which he called Vanarasena. This was a battalion of children satyagrahis. Dakshinamurti Balamandir. As the name itself suggests, the nursery section at the Dakshinamurti institution was called Balamandir. Gijubai initially trained his son by using the techniques of Montessori education. It was only when he was convinced that it was stress-free and gave the learners the freedom to explore that he decided to adopt it in a larger school setting. Inclusive education. Gijubai invited Dalits to enter Dakshinamurti institution. He was also responsible for the resettlement of farmer families who had abandoned their homes during the Bardoli Satyagraha. Gijubai Badeka's views on education. Before understanding his views on education, we have to analyze the circumstances that led to Gijubai having a totally different viewpoint on education. His contributions to education in general and the teaching and learning process in particular are immense. He in fact gave a new shape and definition to education. He was not happy about the system of education, especially the way teaching and learning took place in schools. He was influenced by Maria Montessori, an educationalist and thinker from Italy, and liberally used the educational philosophies of Froebel, Dalton, and others. Though he borrowed ideas from the West, he systematically oriented these thoughts to suit Indian conditions. His system of education was indigenous in nature and suited to the Indian social-cultural fabric. Theoretical and practical aspects of education. Moving away from routine examinations and scores, Badeka encouraged children to explore and learn for self-development. He first tried these new methods with his son and then went on to experiment with others. Divaswapna is a treatise in which Gijubai Badeka explains the features of his educational experiment. In his experiment lies his new method of teaching. Pandya, who has been translating works of Gijubai, observed that in the 19 years till his untimely death in 1939, Gijubai worked continuously, contributing lifetime of work in the area of children's literature and education. His best known work is Divaswapna, meaning daydream. First published in 1939 in Gujarati, it is an original contribution to progressive ideas on pedagogy. Gijubai Badeka adopted several new techniques in teaching which many teachers were not keen on adopting. Through these new methods, children developed creativity, speaking and writing skills, disciplined behavior, and learned to appreciate the need to maintain hygiene and cleanliness. The emphasis in Badeka's model was self-realization and self-development. For Badeka, education started with practical aspects and then ended with development of theories. Gijubai therefore can be called a reflective teacher whose theory of learning and teaching was simple and based on experiments. He was critical about learning for gain, rewards and rank. He emphasized learning for the sake of knowing, learning for the sake for happiness and satisfaction of knowing, learning for the sake of development and not for the sake of rewards or ranking. Peer influence. Educationalists often highlighted the influence of peer groups in the learning process. Usually children learn from their peers and are influenced more easily by peers than their teachers. They usually learn many lessons through participation and involvement in activities of common interest. They imbibe various skills such as planning, teamwork, work execution skills, and leadership qualities through peer groups. While mingling with peer groups, they evaluate their weakness and strength and incorporate corrections in their behavior. Teachers' attitude towards children. Teachers' attitude towards children is of great importance because students come from diverse socio-economic backgrounds. Teachers should have humanistic and empathetic attitude towards children. Teachers should not be facilitator and not authoritative. Teachers should be liked and respected by students. Children should not have the fear to approach their teachers. They should love and appreciate their teachers' attitude and enjoy the experience of learning. Challenges encountered by Gijubai Badeka. Though Gijubai Badeka introduced a novel method of teaching through experiment, he had to face many challenges. Conventional teaching method was one of the challenges for him. Pupils were exposed to learning alphabets, numbers and tables as a routine process. In this process of learning, there was no zeal, no interest and love towards learning. Mechanical memorization. Teachers insisted that students memorize lessons rather than understand the concepts. Memorization often breaks the flow of learning. Badeka had divergent opinions on memorization. He felt that it kills children's creativity. Punishment. The general belief is that fear of punishment makes students learn. Punishment was part and parcel of the teaching process in schools. Badeka opposed the idea of punishment and believed that learning must be an enjoyable experience. He strongly opposed the system of ranks and rewards. According to him, one should have an inner sense of satisfaction after learning. Thus, there is no room for sanctions or punishments in this method of education. Personal cleanliness and physical fitness. Personal cleanliness and physical fitness were given least preference in educational practice. Badeka strongly advocated personal cleanliness and said that physical fitness must be at the basis of good learning process. He believed that adherence to personal hygiene would bring about social discipline. Divaswapna, a masterpiece of Badeka. Though he has written extensively on children's education and needs, Gijubai's major work Divaswapna merits special mention as an outstanding contribution on this theme. This book explains the process that are involved in a child's education. Published in 1932 in Gujarati, Divaswapna has been translated into other Indian languages. The book is broadly divided into 4 main parts. These being the experiment begins, the progress of experiment, at the end of the term, and the last gathering. The book introduced new concepts and experiments. The challenges in introducing new concepts and experiments and the results of the experiments have also been narrated in detail. Initially, Gijubai experimented these concepts and methods with his son and later tried the same with 4th grade children. Part 1. Experiment begins. The first part of book is titled The Experiment Begins. In this chapter, the author experiments with failure. The entire experimentation concentrates on the failure of a ball to grasp a lesson. Gijubai narrates an experience when, on the very first day of teaching, he realized that he could not succeed in getting a positive response to his plans. Students were not concentrating and they were not attentive in his class. Gijubai Badeka believed that the most essential quality that children require to cultivate is the interest in learning. Gijubai also realized that children must develop a sense of love for learning, and he believed that it should be a natural process. He narrates his experience with his students in the first class in the following words. Boys, I said, we won't have class anymore today. We shall meet tomorrow. You can have a day off today. At the words day off, the boys rushed out of the class shouting holiday. They ran out jumping. The headmaster came out of his room and accosted me. Initially, Badeka had a tough time and faced the wrath of his colleagues and administrators. He was against the use of mechanical memorization technique, which was practiced by students and encouraged by teachers. He preferred to use a different method, which involved narration of interesting stories and exciting games. Gijubai started telling stories in his classes. Children were engrossed in these stories and started showing interest in classes as well as in the teacher. As days passed on, they started requesting Gijubai to narrate more stories, and children who were running out of class started staying back even after class hours. He is of the opinion that storytelling is the best method of sustaining not only the interest of students but also building a rapport between pupils and the teacher. About exams. According to Gijubai Badeka, children need to prepare for exams, but exams are not everything. They should be allowed to read as well as play games. He did not show any interest in paper-pencil based tasks. His Divaswapna is discussing the triple ideas of failure, disgrace and solutions. He never used to adhere to a strict timetable, and his novel experiment of educating children stretched throughout the day. A day's teaching was divided into activities, games and stories. Teachers have to use their instinct and feel the pulses of their pupils and then decide what technique should be used to impart knowledge to them. Divaswapna is a treatise on best teaching practices that could be adopted in different classroom situations. In the formal process of learning, textbooks and syllabus are the two prerequisites, and both students and teachers meticulously follow these. Badeka did not give any importance to textbooks and syllabus. According to him, through games one can get real education. In his Divaswapna, he writes that games are real education. Great powers are born on playground. Games mean character building in page number 20 of Divaswapna. Library. Gijubai's plans of having a library in his class became a failure to begin with, but later emerged as a success. Children were interested in listening to stories as well as in telling stories. They had no chance of reading any storybooks, but read only textbooks. So Gijubai thought of setting up a library within the class. Gijubai faced many challenges and failures in his experiment, but he never felt let down and always kept looking for alternative methods. In the system of education existing in India, where school was meant only for studying, Gijubai made a break by imparting value education through stories, games and plays. Part 2. The Progress of Experiment. Gijubai believed that fear is the major hindrance for the development of a child. Removing fear and planting confidence leads to natural learning and development. Children no doubt learn and memorize many things, but very rarely do they ask the questions why and how. Gijubai inculcated the skills to probe beyond what was taught in the classroom. For Gijubai, education was for promoting personality development and not for ranking students. Thus, he opposed the orthodox method of ranking. He argued that every child has his or her level of capacity and ability. He says, if beating makes one learn, everyone should be beaten every day. According to Gijubai, if students are not interested in learning, they should not be forced but left free. Students are interested only in certain types of activities. Every child is unique and has its own likes and dislikes. The likes should be developed and dislikes should be left out. Children must be encouraged only to gain mastery over subjects in which they are interested. Learning various subjects by using the same method may not be equally effective. Gijubai preferred to teach history through storytelling. He believed that children would remember an event much better if it was narrated in a story form rather than being forced to remember it only for the sake of exams. Part 3. At the end of term. Gijubai strongly acknowledged that any activity or learning can be successful only if a student understood it. Once during Gijubai's period of experimentation, there was a social gathering and students had to perform plays. Children of Gijubai's class performed better than others because they had the freedom to do what they enjoyed. Thus, Gijubai strongly opposed the system of rote memorization. He also said that any knowledge acquired with interest and love needs no reward or praise, as the knowledge itself and the satisfaction it brings act as a rewards. Gijubai always applied interesting methods for teaching children. He taught grammar and geography in a manner that would generate interest and make students feel that they were having fun. Learn through play was his teaching strategy. He did not use formal methods of teaching. Instead, he taught grammar in the form of card games and languages in the form of game called Antakadi and geography through field visits. Gijubai never judged the capacities of children by assigning ranks. He felt that ranking or grading only resulted in creating feelings of ill will and jealousy and led to unhealthy competition among children. Learning for pleasure and with pleasure was his motto. Imbibing these qualities, his class children even brought out class monthly magazine which gave an expression to their interest and talents. Part 4. Last Gathering. Gijubai was a simple man and a strong, determined person. During his experiment, his colleagues and authorities opposed and criticized him, but it did not shake his determination to experiment, and his quest for new methods of child development went on relentlessly. He argued that subjects should be introduced on the basis of children's age and their grasping ability. For instance, subjects like geography cannot be understood by reading. Educational philosophy of Gijubai Badeka. Badeka's philosophy of education is unique. He gave utmost importance to child's happiness, health, pleasure and peace rather than mechanical learning using heaven as a base. Badeka outlined his ideas in the following manner. Heaven is in the happiness of children. Heaven is the health of children. Heaven is a pleasure. Heaven is the playful innocence of children. Heaven lies in the songs and playful humming of children. Gijubai basically adopted a humanistic approach. Humanism is mainly rooted in the self-concept of a child. According to him, a child should feel good about himself or herself first. If a child has a positive understanding of self, it will certainly improve its capacities. A child also tries to understand its weaknesses and try to improve. He advocated that learning is not an end by itself. It is a means to achieve the zenith of self-development. This particular concept is called self-actualization. According to Gijubai Badeka, intrinsic rewards are more powerful and effective than extrinsic rewards. A child should feel the need of education. The child should be self-motivated rather than being lured by prizes, medals, stars, ranks and position. We have already seen the contributions of Badeka for the education of children. According to him, education is a lifelong process. However, formative education is the foundation for further learning and lifelong learning. Freedom in the learning space is the point that Badeka stressed. He criticized conventional methods of education which were constricted by bureaucratic hurdles. He rejected a system of education that did not give freedom to children to learn in a free and natural environment, especially in the formative years. He was impressed by Montessori's system of education and took the bold step of experimentation with alternate ways of knowledge transmission. Through the special institutions, he created and carried forward his initiatives, overcoming resistance from educational administration and colleges. Badeka's writing, both in Gujarati and Hindi, contained his views which were simple, practical, straightforward. The entire focus of his learning process was on experimentation, which involved games, stories, and other cultural activities as the means of transmitting knowledge. Opposing the system of determining capacities by ranks and examinations, Badeka emphasized on creating an environment in the classroom that encourages students to explore rather than meekly following what the teacher said. Gijubai's book Divaswapna contained the tenets of his approaches to education, and even today it stands as a testimony to alternate paradigms in educational theory and practice.